Ladies and gentlemen, imagine if I told you that just 3 simple words could open the doors of abundance, shift your energy, and make money flow into your life effortlessly. No struggle, no stress, just pure attraction. These words are not just sounds. They are a magnetic code that unlocks wealth when spoken with belief. Stay with me, because before this video ends, you'll know how to use them to transform your finances forever. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and drop a one-word comment, money or abundance. Also subscribe to my other channel. The link is in the bio. The very first thing we must understand is this. Your words are seeds. Every time you speak, you are planting something into the soil of your mind. And just like a farmer, you will always reap what you sow. Think about this. How often do you hear people say things like, money doesn't grow on trees? I can't afford that. Rich people are greedy. These statements sound harmless. But what they're really doing is programming your subconscious mind to reject wealth. If your mind believes money is scarce or evil or impossible to hold on to, then it will block opportunities even when they're right in front of you. On the other hand, wealthy individuals often speak differently. They say things like, money comes to me easily. There's always more where that came from. I am worthy of abundance. These words might sound simple, but they hold power because the subconscious mind doesn't argue. It accepts what you tell it. That's why repeating the right words isn't just a motivational exercise. It's reprogramming your financial DNA. A fascinating study from the field of neuroscience found that repeated affirmations actually rewire the brain. When you say something over and over, the neurons in your brain fire together until they create a pathway. Over time, this pathway becomes your automatic belief. That means if you keep saying, I can't afford it, your brain literally builds a highway for lack. But if you say, I am abundant, it builds a highway for prosperity. Here's a real-life example. Jim Carrey, the famous actor, once wrote himself a check for $10 million when he was broke and struggling. He dated it 5 years into the future and wrote in the memo line, for acting services rendered. Every day, he repeated words of affirmation that he was a successful actor worth millions. Do you know what happened? Exactly 5 years later, he received a movie role that paid him, yes, $10 million. Coincidence or proof that words, when repeated with belief, create reality? Now, maybe you're thinking, but I've said affirmations before and nothing happened. That's because the words must go beyond the surface. You can't just say them, you must feel them. Words backed by emotion are 100 times more powerful than words spoken without belief. This is why I call words seeds. You can throw seeds on concrete and nothing will grow. But if you plant them in rich soil, water them, and let the sun shine, they will sprout. Your emotions are the water, your repetition is the sunlight, and your faith is the soil. Without these, the seeds of words die with them. They flourish. So the first step to making money flow effortlessly is to respect the power of words. Guard your speech like a gatekeeper. Stop cursing your finances with words of lack and start blessing them with words of abundance. From today forward, every time you feel the urge to say, I can't afford this, replace it with, I am attracting wealth right now. It might feel awkward at first. But remember, every belief you currently hold about money was learned. If you learn scarcity, you can unlearn it. And if you unlearn scarcity, you can learn abundance. That is the power of words. And when we combine the right words, the right emotions, and the right repetition, money doesn't just become something you chase, it becomes something that chases you. If words are the seeds of wealth, then your subconscious mind is the soil. Whatever you plant in it, whether good or bad, will eventually grow into the reality you experience. This is why understanding how your subconscious works is the key to making money flow effortlessly. Here's the truth. Your conscious mind is like the captain of a ship, giving commands. But your subconscious mind is the crew below deck. The captain might say, we're heading toward wealth. But if the crew has been trained to sail toward poverty, guess where you'll end up? Poverty. No matter how much you consciously want money, your subconscious will sabotage you if it isn't programmed correctly. Let's break this down with an example. Imagine someone who grew up hearing, "Money is hard to earn. We can't afford nice things. Rich people are corrupt." These words don't just disappear. They sink deep into the subconscious. Later in life, this person might land a great job, start a business, or receive an unexpected financial blessing. But guess what? Because the subconscious mind believes money is hard to earn or bad, it will create circumstances to lose that money. That's why so many people win the lottery and end up broke within 5 years. Their subconscious couldn't hold wealth, so it found a way to push it out. On the other hand, people who program their subconscious for abundance see money as natural good and flowing. They attract opportunities without even trying. They make decisions that multiply wealth because their subconscious supports them rather than sabotages them. Neuroscientists have found that the subconscious mind controls 95% of your daily actions, habits, and decisions. That means only about 5% of what you do comes from conscious thought. If your subconscious isn't aligned with abundance, you'll always struggle, no matter how hard you consciously try. So how do you reprogram it? This is where the 3 words you'll learn later come in. But before we even get there, you must understand the process. The subconscious is programmed through repetition, imagery, and emotion. Repetition, the more you say something, the more your subconscious accepts it as truth. Imagery, the subconscious doesn't know the difference between real and imagined experiences. That's why athletes visualize winning before a game. It trains the mind to believe it has already happened. Emotion, feelings are the glue that locks beliefs into place. Words spoken without emotion bounce off, but words spoken with passion sink in. Think of your subconscious like fertile soil. If you plant weeds of fear, doubt, and lack, it will grow them just as easily as it grows flowers of abundance. The soil doesn't choose, it simply produces. That's why you must become intentional about what you allow in. Here's a story that illustrates this power. Oprah Winfrey grew up in poverty, but as a little girl, she repeatedly imagined herself speaking to millions of people, being successful, and living in abundance. She didn't just wish for it. She programmed her subconscious with words, images, and emotions until her mind became a magnet for success. Today, she's a billionaire, not because she had money to start with, but because her subconscious mind became her wealth engine. And here's the exciting part. You have that same engine. The only question is, what fuel are you putting in it? Negative words, fearful images, emotions of lack, or positive words, visions of success, emotions of gratitude. If you've been struggling financially, it doesn't mean you're cursed. It simply means your subconscious has been running on old programming. The good news is, just like a computer, you can overwrite it. And once your subconscious is reprogrammed, money begins to flow almost effortlessly because your actions, decisions, and even the people you attract will align with prosperity. This is why repeating the right 3 words daily is so powerful. You're not just chanting phrases, you're feeding your subconscious wealth, producing fuel. Over time, the crew below deck gets the new orders, and suddenly the ship of your life begins sailing toward abundance. So remember this, your subconscious mind is your wealth engine. If it's programmed for lack, you will always find yourself running out of money. But if you reprogram it for abundance, money will start showing up in unexpected ways, through ideas, opportunities, relationships, and blessings you never saw coming. The moment you understand this, you stop trying to work harder for money and instead focus on aligning your subconscious with money. That's when wealth becomes natural, and that's when life changes forever. We've talked about words being seeds and the subconscious mind being the soil. But let's ask the question, what makes a seed actually grow? The answer is energy. And in the spiritual and scientific sense, that energy is your emotion. Words without emotion are like dry seeds left on the surface of the ground. They have potential, but they never take root. When you add feeling, whether it's gratitude, excitement, or certainty, you water those words and give them life. That's when the subconscious mind begins to respond. Think about it. Have you ever watched a motivational video, felt a surge of emotion, and suddenly believed you could achieve anything? That's not just hype. It's proof that emotions open the subconscious mind. They create what psychologists call an impression. And impressions are what transform repeated words into reality. The law of attraction teaches us that like attracts like. But here's the deeper truth. It's not the words you say that attract. It's the emotions behind the words. If you repeat affirmations like, "I am wealthy," while feeling fear, doubt, or stress, you're sending a mixed signal to the universe. On the surface, your words say wealth, but your emotional vibration says lack. And the universe always responds to your vibration, not your vocabulary. Here's an example. Imagine two people saying the same affirmation, "Money flows easily to me." Person A says it robotically, with no belief, no energy, and a sinking feeling inside that it's a lie. Person B says it with passion, with gratitude, with a smile, imagining money already flowing into their life. Who do you think will see results? Person B, every single time, because emotions are the true magnets. They tell the subconscious, this is real, this is happening, this is my truth. Science backs this up. Studies on the brain show that emotions release chemicals like dopamine and serotonin, which actually strengthen neural pathways. When you feel joy or gratitude while repeating affirmations, your brain wires those words in deeper. That's why gratitude practices are so powerful for wealth, because gratitude is one of the highest emotional frequencies you can send out. Let me tell you a story. Sarah, a woman I once met at a seminar, had been struggling financially for years. She worked hard, but nothing seemed to change. She told me she tried affirmations, but felt like they didn't work. When I asked her how she felt while saying them, she admitted, "Honestly, I feel desperate. I say I'm abundant, but inside I'm panicking about paying bills." I guided her to shift her approach. Instead of saying affirmations mechanically, I asked her to first breathe deeply and think of a time she felt genuine gratitude, like holding her newborn baby or receiving unexpected kindness. Once she felt that warmth, I told her to say the words, "Money flows easily to me." Suddenly, her voice changed, her eyes lit up. She wasn't just saying words, she was radiating belief. Within 3 months, she attracted a new job that doubled her income and unexpected financial gifts from family. Why? Because she finally matched her words with the right emotional frequency. This is the secret most people miss. The universe doesn't respond to begging. It responds to alignment. If you beg for money with fear, you attract more fear and lack. If you speak abundance with joy and gratitude, you attract more abundance. So how do you activate the emotional magnet? Here are 3 simple steps. Connect to gratitude first. Before speaking your words, think of something that genuinely makes you thankful. It could be your health, your family, or even the breath in your lungs. Gratitude raises your vibration instantly. Visualize with feeling. Don't just say the words. Imagine them. If you say, "I am wealthy," picture yourself walking into your dream home, holding a check, or traveling the world. Let yourself feel the joy as if it's already true. Smile and breathe. Your body and mind are connected. Smiling while affirming abundance tells your subconscious, "I believe this is good." Breathing deeply relaxes your nervous system, which helps the subconscious accept the message. The difference between an affirmation that works and one that fails is often emotion. Words alone are noise. Words plus emotion are power. So, the next time you repeat the 3 words I'm about to reveal later in this video, don't just say them, feel them. Feel the joy of money already flowing to you. Feel the relief of bills being paid. Feel the excitement of opportunities opening. Because when words, subconscious belief, and emotion align, you stop chasing money. Instead, money starts chasing you. You've stayed with me this far, and now it's time to reveal what you've been waiting for. The 3 words that unlock effortless money flow. Remember, words are seeds, your subconscious is the soil, and emotions are the magnet. Combine them together with these words, and you create a formula that aligns you with abundance. The 3 words are simple, but don't let their simplicity fool you. Ready? Here they are. I am abundant. That's it. Just 3 words. But these 3 words carry more power than you can imagine. Let's break down why. The power of I am, the phrase I am, is one of the most powerful declarations you can ever make. Every time you say I am, you are making a claim about your identity. And identity is stronger than effort. For example, if someone says, I'm trying to quit smoking, that's effort-based. But if they say, I am a non-smoker, that's identity-based. Identity changes behavior naturally. When you say, I am abundant, you're not begging for wealth or hoping it might come. You're declaring abundance as part of who you are. And because the subconscious mind always works to keep your identity consistent, it will align your habits, decisions, and energy to match abundance. This is why successful people don't say, I hope I'll be wealthy someday. They say, I am wealthy. Even before they see it, they identify with wealth, and then reality catches up. The meaning of abundant, notice, I didn't say I am rich or I am a millionaire. Although those can also be powerful. I chose the word abundant because abundance isn't just about money. It's about a mindset of overflow. When you say I am abundant, you're declaring that every area of your life is filled with more than enough. Money, health, love, opportunities, joy, and peace. Money is just one expression of abundance. By speaking abundance, you align yourself with the source of wealth, not just the result. Abundance is a river. Money is one of the streams that flows from it. If you chase money alone, you may catch a little. But if you align with abundance, the whole river flows to you, including money. Why these 3 words work? The subconscious mind doesn't respond to future tense. If you say, I will be rich, it files it away as something that might happen later. But when you say, I am abundant, it takes it as a present reality. That's why these 3 words are so powerful. They tell your subconscious, this is who I am now. And here's where emotion comes in. If you say, I am abundant, and actually feel the truth of it, even before the evidence shows up, you begin to radiate that vibration. The universe matches your energy by sending opportunities, ideas, and financial blessings. This is why wealthy people often seem to attract success effortlessly. It's not luck, it's alignment. They believe they're abundant, so they act abundantly, and abundance flows back to them. Let's look at an example. Arnold Schwarzenegger once said that when he was still unknown in America, he would visualize and declare, I am a successful actor. I am abundant in fame and wealth. People laughed at him, but he kept affirming his identity with emotion. Over time, reality had no choice but to match his declaration. Today, he is known worldwide as an actor, businessman, and former governor. Another story comes from a woman named Lisa who was deep in debt. She began a daily practice of waking up, looking in the mirror, and saying with a smile, I am abundant. At first, it felt fake, but slowly, her subconscious shifted. She started noticing opportunities at work, came up with side business ideas, and attracted supportive people into her life. Within 2 years, she was debt-free and financially thriving. What changed? Her circumstances? No, her identity. Once she saw herself as abundant, life adjusted to match her belief. Here's how you can apply this right now. Morning routine. As soon as you wake up, say, I am abundant out loud 3 times with a deep breath. Visualization. Close your eyes, repeat the words, and picture yourself living abundantly. Debt-free, joyful, surrounded by opportunities. Daily reminders. Write, I am abundant on sticky notes and place them where you'll see them. On your mirror, fridge, or phone background. Emotion activation. Each time you say it, smile and feel gratitude. Let the emotion charge the words. Do this consistently, and you'll notice subtle shifts at first. Unexpected gifts, small financial blessings, new opportunities. Over time, these small shifts multiply into big transformations. So remember, the 3 words are, I am abundant. They are not just words. They are a declaration of identity, a magnet for money, and a key that unlocks financial flow. The moment you repeat them with belief, you stop chasing money, and money starts chasing you. Now that you know the 3 words, I am abundant, it's time to amplify them. And the amplifier, the multiplier, the secret ingredient that makes abundance grow exponentially is this: gratitude. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It is a spiritual law, a magnetic force, and a key that unlocks multiplication. When you combine gratitude with the declaration, I am abundant, you don't just plant seeds of wealth. You water them, nourish them, and accelerate their growth. Think about it this way. When someone gives you a gift and you respond with heartfelt gratitude, what do they want to do? Give you more. Now multiply that truth infinitely when you express gratitude for what you have, even if it's little. The universe or God or source, whatever you believe in, responds by giving you more. This is why people who complain rarely prosper. Complaining tells the universe, I don't appreciate what I have. Gratitude says, I value this and I'm ready for more. The energy of gratitude opens the door for greater blessings. Gratitude shifts your focus. Most people focus on what they lack. They wake up thinking about unpaid bills, debts, or what they can't afford. That focus creates stress, and stress lowers your vibration, blocking the flow of wealth. But gratitude shifts your focus. When you say, I am grateful for the money I do have, even if it's just a few dollars, your energy rises. You stop focusing on scarcity and start focusing on abundance. And where focus goes, energy flows. For example, a man named John was drowning in debt. Every day he worried about what he didn't have. Then, on advice from a mentor, he started writing down 5 things he was grateful for each morning, including small things like having clean water, food, or even a bus fare. At first, it felt silly, but within months, he noticed his stress decrease, his creativity increase, and new job opportunities open up. Gratitude shifted his focus, and his financial life followed. Gratitude raises your vibration. Remember how we said emotion is the magnet? Well, gratitude is one of the highest emotional frequencies you can feel. When you say, I am abundant and I am grateful, you're not just speaking identity, you're radiating joy. That joy sends a powerful signal to the universe. I am ready for more of this feeling. The universe responds by sending more abundance that keeps you in that frequency. It's like tuning a radio. If you want to hear music, you can't stay on the static channel. Gratitude tunes you into the music of abundance, where money flows easily and opportunities show up at the right time. Gratitude multiplies what you have. There's a principle you see everywhere in life: what you appreciate appreciates. If you appreciate your health, it improves. If you appreciate your relationships, they deepen. And if you appreciate your money, even small amounts it grows. There's a story about a woman who, despite being low income, always gave thanks when she paid bills. Instead of saying, "Oh, more money gone," she'd say, "Thank you that I had the money to pay this." Over time, her perspective shifted so much that she no longer saw bills as burdens, but as evidence of her ability to provide. That attitude opened the way for raises, gifts, and eventually financial freedom. Her gratitude multiplied her money. Gratitude unlocks creative ideas. Here's something practical. Gratitude doesn't just make you feel good. It opens your mind to new possibilities. Neuroscience shows that a grateful state of mind expands creativity. When you're stressed and negative, your brain narrows its focus to survival. But when you're grateful, your brain relaxes, becomes resourceful, and generates wealth, creating ideas. That's why many entrepreneurs practice gratitude daily. They know that a thankful mind is a creative mind, and creativity is the birthplace of wealth. How to practice gratitude with "I am abundant" here's how to combine gratitude with your 3 words to multiply your financial flow. Morning gratitude affirmation. As soon as you wake up, place your hand on your heart and say, "I am abundant and I am grateful." Feel the truth of those words. Imagine money flowing to you and thank it in advance. Gratitude journal. Write down 3 financial blessings daily. No matter how small, it could be finding a coin, receiving a discount, or even paying a bill. Writing them anchors gratitude in your subconscious. Thank your money each time you receive money. No matter how little, say, "Thank you, I am abundant." This programs your subconscious to see money as a blessing, not a burden. Gratitude visualization. Imagine your bank account balance growing. And instead of wishing, say, "Thank you, I am abundant." Your subconscious accepts that vision as truth real. Life proof. Take the story of Will Smith. Early in his career, he spoke about being broke, yet always practicing gratitude. Instead of focusing on lack, he declared abundance and gave thanks for every small win. That gratitude, combined with his work ethic, attracted roles, opportunities, and wealth that made him one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. The lesson: gratitude multiplies. When you thank the universe for what you have, you're preparing to receive what you desire. So don't just repeat, "I am abundant." Add the multiplier, say, "I am abundant and I am grateful." That simple shift transforms the flow of money from a trickle into a river. By now, you understand the power of words, the subconscious, emotion, and gratitude. But there's one more principle that makes or breaks your ability to manifest wealth, faith, and patience. See, most people fail not because the law of attraction doesn't work, but because they give up too soon. They plant the seed, water it for a few days, then dig it up because they don't see results. They repeat affirmations for a week, and when the money doesn't fall from the sky, they declare, "This stuff doesn't work." But here's the truth. Abundance works like nature. You don't plant a seed today and eat fruit tomorrow. You must trust the process. Faith is the bridge between words and reality. Faith is believing in what you cannot yet see. It's the ability to say, "I am abundant," even when your bank account is empty. It's the ability to thank the universe for wealth before it arrives. This is where many people miss it. They want evidence first, then belief. But the universe doesn't work that way. Belief comes first, evidence second. When you keep saying, "I am abundant" with faith, your subconscious begins creating the conditions for that reality. It might start by giving you an idea, connecting you to someone, or opening a small opportunity. If you dismiss these because they don't look like big money, you'll miss the path to abundance. Faith says, "Every little shift is proof my wealth is coming." Doubt says, "If it's not a miracle overnight, it's not working." Which one do you think attracts more? Patience aligns you with divine timing. Patience isn't about waiting helplessly. It's about waiting with trust. A farmer doesn't plant a seed and then panic every day asking, why hasn't it grown yet? He knows growth is invisible before it's visible. Roots develop underground before the sprout breaks the surface. The same is true with money manifestations. Sometimes the universe is aligning circumstances behind the scenes, moving people, arranging opportunities, or even preparing you to handle wealth wisely. If money came before you were mentally ready, it might destroy you. Patience allows the process to unfold perfectly. The danger of impatience. Impatience is one of the greatest wealth blockers. When you get impatient, you send a signal of desperation. Desperation is rooted in lack, and lack attracts more lack. That's why people who are constantly stressing about money often push it further away. Their energy is fear, not abundance. Patience, on the other hand, says, I know it's already mine, I trust the timing. That energy attracts money faster because it removes resistance. Let's take the story of Colonel Harlan Sanders, the founder of KFC. He didn't achieve success until he was in his 60s. Before that, he faced countless failures and rejections. He reportedly pitched his chicken recipe over 1,000 times before someone said yes. What kept him going? Faith that his recipe was valuable and patience to keep trying. Today, his brand is worth billions. Now imagine if he had given up after the first 100 rejections, or even 500. He would have died unknown, and the world would have missed his legacy. His story proves that faith and patience are essential ingredients in the recipe of abundance. How to cultivate faith and patience in wealth attraction here are practical ways to stay strong. When results take time, celebrate small wins instead of saying, it's not enough. Say, this is proof my abundance is coming. Found $1 on the street, that's evidence. Someone bought your product, that's progress. Celebrate it. Detach from the how. Your job is not to figure out how money will come. Your job is to declare abundance, feel abundance, and trust abundance. The universe has 1,000 paths to bring you wealth. Don't block them by insisting it must come in one way. Daily faith practice. Every morning after saying, I am abundant, add, I trust the process. I know my wealth is already on its way. This keeps your energy in alignment. Meditation for patience. Spend 5 to 10 minutes daily in stillness, focusing on your breath. This calms anxiety and builds patience by reminding you that everything unfolds in divine timing. Think of it like this. When you plant an apple seed, you don't demand apples the next day. You water it, protect it, and wait. Over time, it sprouts, grows into a tree, and produces fruit. Wealth works the same way. Every affirmation, every visualization, every gratitude practice is watering your financial seed. Faith and patience guarantee the harvest. People who master faith and patience often experience what looks like sudden success. But in reality, their abundance had been growing silently, underground, for years. When it finally appears, it feels like a miracle. But it was simply the fruit of seeds nurtured with faith and patience. So the next time you're tempted to say, it's not working, remember, the roots are growing. The universe is aligning. Your wealth is on the way. Say your 3 words with faith. I am abundant. Add patience. And watch money flow into your life at the right time, in the right way.